Hey guys, welcome back to another more angelic video. Today's video is a lot more cozy, a lot more snug, intimate. We're not really going into this with a plan at all. It's just kind of like a little sit down, rambly, intimate thoughts, what's been on my mind kind of video. So if you want to grab a cup of tea and chat, I kind of want it to be like on FaceTime kind of vibes. This is the mug of the day and we're drinking a herbal tea today. We're drinking a peach and orange tea, herbal tea I think. I thought I would light a little candle. Maybe we can call this maybe we can make a little nighttime series, like candlelit convos. That was really cringe, I have no idea, but I just want it to feel really nice and cozy, and this will be very minimally edited, if edited at all. This is the candle we're going for today. I believe I got this from Zara Home. Very overpriced, but it's very cute. I'm just out here trying to light. Oh, that's so weird. First episode of this series and it's not starting off well. We're gonna change to this candle. This one I got from Flying Tiger. It's green, it's cute. Our guest today is Shark. Success, great. How are we feeling today? Also, I will apologize right now in advance because my cat, I made the mistake of letting him go out today. He has been non-stop meowing because I think he wants to leave. I let him out the house. He's an indoor cat and he's been fed. I've played with him today. He's just in a mood. Recently I have been feeling really overstimulated and overwhelmed, stressed, anxious, like I'm not doing enough, and at the same time trying to navigate all of that, being very hyper aware of everything I'm feeling and trying to still be grateful for everything I have at the same time. But I don't know, I feel like it's almost this weird curse of being so hyper aware of how you're feeling, yet not really being able to change it, or really struggling to change how you feel, if that makes any sense. I've been speaking to a lot of my friends and I know many of them feel the exact same way, and to me, I guess the best way I can put it is I just feel completely burnt out, like in every field of my life, maybe predominantly through my work, that it's kind of leaked into other sectors of my life because one has been so overwhelmingly draining and just so mentally taxing that it's almost like I have to borrow mental energy from other sections of my life. So even doing things like interacting with my friends, or I guess staying in touch with family, basic things, going to the grocery shop, cleaning my house, cooking for myself, it's all taken a backseat because all my energy and effort has been going into maintaining my workflow, and as a result in every field now I am just so burnt out. And I don't think it's only for creatives. I definitely think, I spoke to one of my really close friends, Jodie. She was telling me for a lot of last year she was feeling really similar, and I think it's so difficult sometimes because we get stuck in routine and you kind of just have to do what you need to do to survive and just get on with things. And I feel like we really neglect when we're just really mentally exhausted, because what else are you meant to do except keep going? And I feel like we're in a culture now where you're almost rewarded for your hard work, and it's very commendable to be super hardworking and to push through, and let's not rely on motivation, let's rely solely on discipline, and let's make sure we get what we need to get done consistently. And I think consistency is good, and I think discipline is good, but I feel like it's almost at the cost of like our own mental health if you're not careful. Or like me, and I think so many of us, we just kind of ignore the signs and push through anyways until we get to a point where we are struggling to do really basic things. For me, I haven't left my house in like 5 days, which is really bad. And I notice this pattern happening a lot with me, where when I am so extremely burnt out and all my focus is going into one thing, that I almost neglect my well-being and other sections of my life, and I don't even go outside and literally touch the grass, which is really not good. And I think it almost like a negative feedback loop, because I'm not going outside and I'm not really leaving the four walls of my home. So I'm, obviously I'm going to be more stressed, and I'm going to feel more low and more down. And because I'm working so much, I'm so exhausted, like I don't have time to go see my friends, and then as a result I see them less, and then I just go back into this loop. There's no stress relief, because I'm just constantly like digging myself into work or whatever it may be. But for me, it's work. I know for a lot of people as well, it's just like their routine. They just feel trapped in their routine, and nobody has time to do anything. I definitely know most of my friends, they wake up, they go to work, they have the whole day at work, and they come home, maybe they'll like watch like some YouTube on their phone or like something, eat dinner, clean up, go to bed, wake up the next day, and like they will do that every single day basically. And they feel like, where is all the time going, and like what am I doing with my life? And they feel stressed and and just burnt out completely burnt out. And I feel the exact same way. I think obviously it's very, like when you talk about it, it's very obvious. It's like, oh, just make time for yourself, see your friends, go to the gym, walk outside. Make sure you get 10k steps every day though. Make sure you're lifting, make sure you're eating healthy, make sure you hit your protein goal, make sure you're hitting your fiber goal, by the way, as well. It looks like he's very close to the candle, but he's very far away. And I feel like there's all these targets we need to hit, and be like, start a side hustle, like be consistent, check up on your friends, see your friends regularly, speak to your family regularly. Like there's all these like little like criteria things we need to hit, and I feel like all I do is work, like film, work, like edit, post, and then like clean my house and eat. And I'm like, what else do I do? That my days have like started to blur, and it's really not good. And I think also like not like living with like my family anymore, I feel it so much more. Like it's really nice, like the peace is so nice, but my days get lost and blurred completely, and it's not good for my mental health, I feel like. But I think the worst thing for me out of everything, and I know so many of you guys will relate to this, is, and like I'm not even just saying this is me being probably the most honest ever. Like I think I probably pick my phone up 300 times a day more. I have no idea. If I sat here and tried to calculate it, I don't even know how I would. But I have a very real phone addiction, and I think a lot of it is sort of intertwined with my job, because it is so chronically online. And so I'm not like confined to like certain hours that I can even use my phone. Like I have no restriction of my phone, because I work from home every day, and my whole job is my online presence. So I kind of almost use that as an excuse for being so chronically online, and it's actually really concerning me. I genuinely have got to the point now where like I feel like an itch, like this disgusting urge and compulsion to check my phone, and if I don't, I just I'm like really, really uncomfortable. Genuinely, it's really bad. And you know, I might just disclose my screen time, to be honest, because it's so ridiculous. But I think my screen time, do you know what, I have 3 separate phones, so it's actually very difficult because one of my phones is pretty broken at the moment, and that's my personal phone. Then I have my work phone where I like film all my videos and edit everything on, but my broken phone, I'm transitioning and kind of getting rid of that phone for now, just like putting it away in a drawer. But I bought a new phone, and then my old work phone is now my like new personal phone basically, but I'm in the middle of transitioning between all of them. So at the moment, like, I found myself like picking up 3 phones, and I'm like, oh, this is so excessive, like this is actually so ridiculous, like this is a problem actually. Like I should just like use my personal phone, and unless I'm doing work, like why am I carrying around 3 phones? It's actually so silly. But if I try and find my screen time for you guys, it's embarrassing. I think it's something like 10 hours or more, like collectively on all of my phones. And no wonder I'm like, where are the hours of the day going? Why do I feel like I'm constantly overstimulated? And it's because I don't give my brain a rest. And I know it's not just me. I have quite a few friends who also are struggling with phone addiction, and it sounds so silly and so like almost like it's a trend nowadays. I feel like people love to harp on things and, you know, like exaggerate things like this, but I actually don't think it's funny. And I think it's a very first world problem. Like there are many worse things that you could have, but I think people are really downplaying screen time and phone addiction. And, you know, for me, I definitely have been like in the place where I have had to like delete all of the social media on my personal phone. And yeah, I'll do okay. Like I'll go like a month or like a couple weeks without like reinstalling it, or like going back onto Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook. It's so bad, and it'll be okay. And then I've tried the apps. I've tried downloading those apps, and they block you from your application for a while. I just override it every time. I'm like, wait, but I need to check this one recipe, or wait, I need to see this, like how to wear my hair like this. And like I will go in with the intention of like finding out information. And I feel like I use TikTok and Reels and all sorts of things almost like a Google search now. But in trying to conduct my research, I will be so severely off track and distracted by literally anything, and I am down a deep rabbit hole for an hour and a half, and I'm like, I just wanted a recipe for dinner, and I've wasted an hour and a half, and it hasn't even clocked to me that like I wasted all that time. And then I will just realize, I'm like, wait, it's 4 o'clock, like I thought it was 1:30. How on earth? And like I'm like, wait, why am I on TikTok? Like I opened up Instagram Reels to like find this recipe. Like how on earth is it 4 o'clock and I'm now on TikTok, and I didn't even realize the transition? I feel like a mindless zombie sometimes, like switching between apps, and I'm not even aware what I'm doing. When I come off all these applications, and if you were to ask me like, what have you learned, what have you watched, what have you seen, I could maybe name like a handful of the TikToks I've been watching for the last hour, 2 hours, like maybe like the last one, and then one random one that I thought was funny maybe or something. But it's such a waste of my time, and I'm so hyper aware of just time being wasted that you would think I would be able to like nip this in the bud like way easier. But for some reason I really struggle with this, and you know, I do joke about it, and I think a lot of people in our generation laugh about like their phone addiction, but I actually don't think it's funny. I'm wasting so much time, and I really mean wasting. Like it's not like, what's the word? It's not productive in the slightest. I could be doing a million things. I have a million things I need to do, yet I get sucked into this vortex of just like doom scrolling, and I cannot stop. Like, it's really difficult for me at the moment. I actually don't know what to do. You know, I delete my apps, I just download them again. It's so ridiculous. And then I'm like, why am I so, like, my brain at the moment feels completely fried. Like completely and utterly fried. I feel like I need 24/7 like stimulation around me. Like, you know, I noticed the other day I was cooking, and on my way to cook I was watching a video to the kitchen, and then when I got into the kitchen I put a video on whilst I was like cooking, and then after I finished cooking I went and sat down at the table and I put on something else, and I was like, and I'm cooking the whole time, and then on my other phone, my phone's dinging, and then like my friends texting me, I'm texting me, watching a video and cooking. No wonder, like, by the end of the day I am completely exhausted, because I just have like 24/7 stimulation around me, and I'm not even like, I'm not fixing it, I'm not doing anything to address the problem. And I've noticed, like, it's so bad, like my attention span is awful, that I've always been like very fine to like queue or like, you know, talk to people or like whatever, like it does not bother me. But what was I doing the other day? I think this is really bad, but I was in church, actually. I was in church and I was waiting for the pastor to like start preaching, and we were like worshipping, and like I was into the worshipping. And then like my brain, I don't know what I genuinely felt like an addict. Like, it was so bad. And I was like, I need to check my phone. I need to check my phone. And like, it was just this really like strong urge to like whip out my phone. And I'm not like this. Like, when I'm with my friend, thankfully, I'm pretty good if I'm like in company, that I don't pick up my phone and scroll in front of people, and I can stay very present in conversation. Also because I feel like that's very important in this like day and age, to like be very present around people. I've definitely been around people where I don't think it's malicious or rude like on purpose, but I have been around people where they have like mid conversation with me just like picked up their I just hit my funny bone, and that was really painful. But I've had conversations with people and they've just like picked up their phone mid conversation, and like I have like, I'm not even joking, maybe like I was gonna say a roster of like maybe like 5 people, but like, is that the right terminology? I'm not sure, but like I have like a good handful of people I know that do this. They'll pick up their phone and like I'm speaking and they'll be like and they'll be watching like, it's not even like, oh sorry, my dad texted me, like let me respond quickly, it's literally they're watching TikToks as I'm speaking and conversing with them, and it's very rude. And you know, sometimes I will call it out and be like, hey, I'm literally like talking to you, can you put your phone away? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, because we are stuck in this like mindless like zombie state of we're just like doom scrolling, and it's kind of rude because you're literally showing me in real time you cannot hold your attention long enough to have a conversation with me without more stimulation simultaneously. And trust me, I get it, because I'm really struggling at the moment with trying to be present and not constantly surround myself with like 100 different sources of like stimulation. And I think that's also partly why I like just constantly like pick up my phone. I have nothing. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I have nothing to check. I honestly have nothing that important to check. Yeah, every 2 seconds I'm itching to pick up my phone for some reason. And it's not good. There's been so much research. There has been so much research to show how damaging this is to our brains. It's rewiring our brains in such a damaging way, and like I don't think it's something to laugh or joke about. It's actually really serious. I am so concerned for my mental health, and I feel the effect of all of this, to be honest, really severely. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a big issue. And with this rising trend of going analog, I completely support it, but that's like a whole separate rant and conversation we can get into maybe another day. But I really am trying to do a very similar thing of just going more offline, which is very difficult to do when my job is so public facing and is completely online. So I think I'm going to have to start batch filming some videos, because at the moment I have a absolutely insane upload schedule. I film that day, I edit that day, and I post, and I do all the marketing, and I do all the graphic design for the thumbnails, and I do everything all in one day. And it's honestly, it's what I've been doing for the last 5 years of creating content. Oh, sorry, little hiccup from the tea. But it's so unsustainable. It's genuinely driving me up the wall. I don't know how I've even done it for this long, especially because I post on so many different platforms. And I was actually speaking to a fellow creator friend of mine about this, and she mentioned to me, it's so different, social media nowadays, and I'm sure you can relate if you are seeking out to be an influencer or a content creator as well, and you're trying to really build your career online, that it's never been easier and it's never been more difficult, because now almost every single area is just so oversaturated with people trying to make it. And I applaud it, to be honest. I think I am the biggest advocate for make something online. I really think you can make it. I really think you can do it if you genuinely try your best and you're consistent, and if you really put your mind to it. And I don't mean just I mean devote your time to it. There's no way you can't make it, in my opinion. But again, more conversations for other days. But what on earth was I talking about? I also have this thing where I just completely drift off from conversation to other parts of conversation. Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, so I was talking to a fellow creator friend of mine, and she mentioned to me when we were talking about burnout, because almost every single creator I've spoken to has struggled with burnout as well in the past or currently. I feel like nobody really talks about it, and you're at least for me and my perception, I was I feel like I'm struggling with this, and everyone else is balling out here, everyone's doing great. How do they have this energy, and how do they have this motivation constantly? Because I'm really struggling to keep up right now. I really feel that my brain is just fried. But then I learned, no, everyone feels like this. And my friend, she mentioned that we have to post now, or not have to, but creators tend to post now on multiple platforms. You'll usually film separate content for your short form content, which will probably go up on TikTok or your Instagram Reels, or if you post on Facebook or anything like that. And then you'll have your long form content, and you'll post that on YouTube, or some people even streams that might be Twitch or whatever. And and you constantly trying to promote yourself on all these different platforms now. And back in the day, 10 years ago, people would just kind of post on YouTube once a week. But now, like, there's just so much that you kind of like should do. And you know, this is definitely like a content creator sort of struggle, but I'm sure like you can relate in like other factors of your life. Like even nowadays, I was speaking to my dad about this, like, I don't know, many weeks ago, months ago actually, but it's so difficult to just like exist nowadays compared to like 50 years ago. Like rent prices, you know, just like general cost of living, and then with inflation, with everything, with the work, how hard it is to get a job now. Like I'm sure we all can just relate to just like life, but it is so stressful to keep on top of everything, and it feels like everything is like harder in a way, you know. And I definitely feel those struggles too. I feel like we all work so hard for an easier life, but like it comes to a point where like does it even balance anymore because you're working so hard here? Is the payoff even worth it, you know? But like what else are we meant to do? I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, I've been feeling super burnt out, and I think for me, I am somebody who I love, like I'm totally and utterly and completely a workaholic. I love to work, I love to be busy, I love to plan, and like I love my job as well. So for me it's always been so easy. But I think where I've kind of neglected really like letting myself rest, that has really like bitten me in the back, to be honest, because now I'm really struggling to like keep on top of things mentally. Like it's just not, I don't know, it's just not the same. And the thing is, like, I still love what I do, and I know it is genuinely just because I am tired. Like I'm mentally exhausted and I just need a break. So I will be batch filming some videos, and so that I don't think anyone else would realize, because it's all batch filmed and it's still going to be coming out consistently. But I will be behind the scenes actually not filming my hope is like 2 weeks, and the last time I have done that was I think like 2 years ago when I went to Thailand. That was the last time I had a holiday. Every other holiday I've also been editing other footage, filming other footage, like responding to emails, etc. I've always been working on my holidays. Really unhealthy, and I've been doing this for 5 years, and I took one holiday 2 years ago, which is so ridiculous. So I'm gonna, sorry for all the movement, by the way, I'm very like, you know, but I don't know, I'm gonna go ahead, batch film everything and post it, and then I'm gonna take a 2-week break of no filming, and I'm genuinely so excited. And I'm also going to go analog. I'm going to do it. I mean, minus like this TV count, I don't know. Low-key, I prefer how things used to be. Maybe like 2015, 2014. I feel like we had a good amount of technology. Maybe even a bit earlier, maybe even 2010. Like give me the DS's, and then I'm good, you know. But I feel like we almost have too much technology now, and just too much of everything. And you know, it's kind of that thing of like, when there's so much choice, you almost get frozen in your decisions. You get decision fatigue because you're making so many choices every single day that no wonder you're so exhausted by the end of the day. I was reading this book actually, all about making decisions and decision fatigue, and oh my gosh, I really wish I could remember the name of this book. I read a lot of, or actually I start a lot of different self-development books. It's my favorite genre to read, especially because I'm sure you can tell, I'm a very like go work, career driven person, personal growth driven person. I love to improve myself. I think I've just been through like a lot, and I just kind of want to be the best version of I as I can. I don't know, very cringe, but I feel very strongly about that. I don't know, one of my favorite quotes is oh my gosh, complete and utter mind blank, because I say this quote all the time. It's the fear of being the same should be greater than the fear of change, or something. I think it's something like that. But I love it so much, because I even look back at myself 6 months ago, and or like a year ago especially, but like recently, like 6 months ago to be honest, and I'm like, wow, like I feel like a completely different person. And I'm not sure if it's just because I just turned 25 recently. Not recently, we'll say recently, so I feel better. But I feel like my brain is finally like fully developing, and I'm coming to so many like realizations, and like I don't know, I feel like I'm finally understanding like people and dynamics that I never really looked too deeply into before, and relationships in general, whether that be romantic, platonic, whatever, you know, like I don't know, I feel like I can really see things so clearly now as well. And I, as a result of just like seeing everything, and you know, I'm not one to sort of ignore, I'm really like putting in place like new boundaries, and like, you know, just like seeing things for how they are. And I'm like, actually, why am I putting up with that? Or like, what is the point in people pleasing when it is so damaging? Like, I feel like I'm, by the way, I'm gonna say, a couple of years ago, I was such a like chronic people pleaser, like to my core. Like, I loved to please other people. It made me feel good about myself. And I'm talking maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Genuinely, it is my pleasure to help you. Like, what do you want? What can I do for you? Because I think in a way, even though this is like around the time I was definitely starting to really solidify my own self-worth and not relying on other people to kind of like validate my own feelings about myself, you know, and this is inherently what people pleasing is. These behaviors, they are seeking out validation from other people. And I think I never realized that earlier until like a couple years later, that, you know, me pleasing these other people, especially like going out of my way to people please, where it wasn't even from the kindness of my own heart. In a way it was, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Like, if you're doing it for the praise, you're not doing it from like a pure heart, if that makes sense. Because if you do something and somebody doesn't say thank you, which, by the way, this is a whole separate thing. I still believe in manners. I still think it's important to be respectful and of people's time and efforts and everything, of course. But I'm saying from a whole people pleaser point of view, and why I no longer people please, I will do kind acts out of like my own heart, and because I want to do something kind for somebody else and not rely on their reaction. Because in a way, people pleasing is very transactional. It's, I'm gonna go out my way, I'm gonna do something for you that's really kind, that I don't need to do, or maybe I feel like I need to do because you've pressured me or whatever into it, and I don't want to say no, and I'm gonna do this for you, and then you're gonna give me some sort of praise or some sort of great reaction, and it's gonna make me feel good, and it's gonna feed into my ego and how I feel about myself. And then because you gave me a good reaction, it makes me think I'm such a great person. And it shouldn't be like that. You should just know inherently you are a good person, and you should do things because you want to do something out of the kindness of your own heart, not because of someone's reaction. You should still feel as good doing something and somebody not saying thank you than if someone said thank you. Of course, thank you is a cherry on top, and it's like very sweet, but it shouldn't make or break you doing something, going out of your way to do something kind. And this is something I've learned over the years, that like you know, as much as I thought I was very secure in my sense of self, I think I was still people pleasing, and it was definitely still to kind of make myself feel good, you know, if that makes sense. So now I don't do it for that reason. If I do something kind, it's because I wanted to do something kind, and it doesn't matter how you respond to it, whether it's not like the crazy reaction I want, or like whatever, even it's just a super nonchalant like thank you or whatever. Like I just want to do something kind for you. Like I feel like you would like this, and that makes me happy to like do something kind for you. I don't know. So yeah, be careful with your people pleasing, and really take a step back and wonder why you're even doing it, because you don't want to get to a point where you're doing things just for other people, and maybe even people pleasing to a fault of yourself, that you are then putting yourself in positions that are undesirable. And really, like, I really do mean like going out of your way. Like I would be very cautious of going out your way to people please for a reaction, because you will just subconsciously, like, you know, what's the word, rewire your brain for this, and then, you know, you'll subconsciously be linking this with your self-worth of like, oh wait, why didn't, because I used to be guilty of this. I did this really nice thing for them, why didn't they even like register how nice I spent all this time for them, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and they didn't even say thank you. Like they didn't even say thank you. And it used to really upset me, like a lot, to be honest. It still does. It's still not nice when you put a lot of effort into something and somebody doesn't even acknowledge your efforts, you know. But I think that's why it's really important to not overly exert yourself in those situations, and just be stable in yourself and be like, it's okay. Like, sorry, I wanted to do it, so it doesn't even matter about their reaction, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Especially if we're gonna get real honest and deep here in friendships. I don't even know how I'd phrase it, actually. I'm a super extroverted person. I love talking to people, meeting people. I think because I'm genuinely a very inquisitive person. I'm such a chatterbox, biggest yapper ever. I love hearing about people's lives, about what's going on for them, how are they doing, how are your relationships going in your life, like how's work, like what hobbies have you taken on, how are you feeling. Like I'm very, like, I love to talk to people, and I don't know, I think I'm a very social creature, always have been, always will be at my core. Like I love to be surrounded by people, and you know, I've always kind of had many friendships throughout my life. Like I've always been able to make friends really easily, and people have always wanted to be like my friend, which has been like so sweet. But I did go through a really awful phase where I was really severely depressed for quite a few years of my life, and I shut out everybody. I like wouldn't speak to anyone, and I just was completely on my lonesome, very like isolated, complete hermit. And then I came out of that, and of course I still had friendships, but they weren't the same at all, and I had to kind of like start up from the ground zero again and like reform and rekindle friendships. And then it almost felt like I was collecting Pokemon, and this is going to sound really weird, and I have no idea if anyone's ever like related to this before, but, and by the way, it's not like that these were surface level friendships. I still very much was in the same mindset I'm in now, and I've always had, where I love connection, and I love speaking to people and forming friendships, and I just love that like platonic intimacy. I have no idea, I just really enjoy people's company. But every new, I think because I was from a place where like I lost all my friends basically, not really, but you know, like how close we were and stuff. And I really was really seeking friendships again. I was like, okay, I'm feeling better. I'd gone through like a lot of therapy, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling better, I would love to have some friends. And I didn't like I just wasn't getting those friendships that I wanted. And then suddenly, like, I had all these friends again after coming out of my shell and finally like feeling like myself again, and you know, reconnecting into the world again. And I had all these friendships, and I held on to every single friendship, and I poured so much of myself into developing every single one of these friendships as much as I could, because I kind of like, I missed having friends. And this is when my people pleasing was pretty bad, I'd say. And I think I just really desperately wanted other people to like see my value as a friend, because I felt like I had so much to give, and I was like, I would love to be your friend. Like, I think I knew how loving I am, and I think I knew like what I was craving in a friendship, that I was so willing to give it to other people who were not willing to like meet me at that level. And you know, I almost feel like I was acting in a way with these friendships that like I would like drop everything to hang out with them, and I would do anything for them. And like, if you call me at 3 a.m, I'm there, I'm on the phone to you, like I'll pick up, what do you need, like are you okay, I will meet you right now, like of course. And then on the way I'll like pick up like chocolate or something for them and be like, here you go, are you okay. Like I so desperately, and by the way, this wasn't me like not wanting to do things or being fake. I was really pouring my heart into every single one of these friendships, because I so desperately wanted these close connections with people. Kind of sad. But I think it's kind of human as well, you know, we are all like, I feel like made to be around others, but I really just wanted some close friends, and poured so much of like my mental, physical like energy into like maintaining and developing these friendships. And in a way I feel like I let a lot slide, like a lot of like comments that I would never in my life let people make to me now. I would kind of laugh them off and be like, haha, banter with my friends, because I just wanted friends, you know. And you know, I probably should have calmed down, because at this point I had so many friends, like not to like be big-headed or to brag, but like I was doing an excellent job. But like I had a lot of friends, I felt like they were very close friendships, almost to the point where like I was struggling to keep up with all of them, to be honest. But you know, I don't know why, but even with all this, I still kept like this up of like just like trying to be the best friend I could to everyone. I still think that's important, but I will admit, I think I definitely overexerted myself in everything. I'm gonna make sure I'm there, like every hangout I'm there, every like, I don't know, just anything, I will be there. Like I will be there for you. Do you need me? I'm here. Like, I don't know. But as the years passed, as I grew much more comfortable, stable in myself, as I grew closer to the ripe, beautiful young age of 25, I realized so many things about my friendships that really rubbed me the wrong way. And I think that is when I let a lot of my morals like really take like front and center in my friendships. And oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. And I decided, actually, what am I doing surrounding myself with some of these people? And you know, I feel like I've had this realization multiple times throughout my life, but like, and I've like, you know, like obviously like the worst ones like gone like years before, but like I would say I have really good friends. Like my friends, like even recently, really lovely people. But I think as I started to kind of like get more in tune with my morals and what I thought was okay, I was realizing a lot of these things I didn't even clock onto before are actually really not okay, and I really don't appreciate actually. And I never really like flagged these issues beforehand, so I never saw like issues within my friends because I wasn't like paying attention to these like red flags, if they make sense. Like, it's like if you're trying to count white cars that day, you can walk to the shops and back, and someone might be like, how many white cars did you see today? And you're like, 0. Like, I don't think I saw a single white car. But if someone told you, like, okay, there are so many white cars like in this area, and you're like, are there? And they're like, yeah, look, when you go out to the shops, just have a look, and then now you're on the lookout so you can spot them. And now you go to the shops and you're like, 1, 2, oh my gosh, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you come home and like, I saw 23 white cars, and your friends are like, I told you, and you're like, oh, that's what I mean. Like, I didn't see these issues beforehand, and when I kind of like looked into it, I was like, whoa, yeah, that's actually not okay. Like, I'm not vibing with that. And, you know, I would never just like cut somebody off for like no reason, or like without explanation, or, you know, just, I would never just like judge somebody, be like, hey, like, you do this, and like, I don't agree with it, like trying to be all superior and like condescending, like just because maybe you have a different view than somebody else, or because you wouldn't do something. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was not trying to look down on anybody. But I think I gave people way too much grace, and I think a lot of that was to do with the fact that I had poured so much of myself into these friendships for years, and I truly still do care about so many people, and probably too much. I think I probably care about people significantly more than they probably even care about me, to be honest. But I really care. Like, if you're my friend, I really do have significant love for you, and you are very special to me in my life, and I would never waste my time on somebody I don't see value in, and I don't value, and isn't like special to me, you know. A little bit sappy, but it's true. I really value all my friendships in my life, and for me, I think some things kind of happened in life. Some things had nothing to do with me, to be honest, and I was observing ways that other people were kind of reacting in the group, and I didn't think it like deserved any reaction, if that makes any sense. And, you know, that I would notice very strange behavior, very shady stuff, that I was like, whoa, like, that's not okay, like, what is going on here? But again, like, I'm not one to gossip, and I would never like say like, oh my gosh, this person said this and this person did this and blah 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 blah. But like, I don't know, I think I was like seeing a lot of like really big red flags in like my friendship group, and that's when I really decided like, okay, I'm gonna take a big step back from this person, because I don't know, I don't agree with a lot of the things they're doing. And, you know, I actually confronted this person eventually, and I was like, hey, like, are you okay, blah blah blah. Like, you know, I feel like also I'm the type of person that kind of looks for the like excuses for somebody, and like kind of almost gives you an escape route 9 out of 10 times. I'm like, hey, I noticed this and this, did you mean this, or like, is this why you did this? Like, almost giving you an escape route. And some people just like, and I think that's what my issue was like, I just let a lot of people get away with things that they shouldn't have gotten away with, and they should have been held accountable to. But I just felt like a lot of the battles were not mine to fight, like, for other people, and I didn't want to drag other people involved into things that like wasn't really my business. But also, I'm like, I don't think you guys are aware of what's going on. So that was a little bit complicated in my life recently. Sorry, that's probably the most frustrating story ever. It was so vague, but you know, I feel like I'm someone that really, really tries to reconciliate and work things out, and I let a lot of things slide out of, you know, peace, and just trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, because I'm like, people are busy, and people go through things, and like, you know, I completely understand. Like, bad behavior in my head, I think I give people way too much grace. Bad behavior in my head is clearly as a result of something. Maybe there's a lot of stressful things happening in their life, their home life, or work, or mental health, or like, I have no idea. But people don't just act out for no reason, or people aren't rude for no reason. And like, that's kind of like my unfortunate mentality. So I'll kind of give you the benefit of the doubt 9 out of 10 times. But if you're constantly doing bad things and I pull you up on it, I'm like, hey, are you okay? Hey, what's going on? Hey, you know, and I'm like trying to like communicate with you, and you like shut me down 24/7. You brush things off. Like, what am I meant to do? What am I meant to do? I had this happen recently with someone who I like really was one of my best friends, and yeah, I just, you know, I gave them so much grace with their behavior, and you know, I think they kind of like just took that and ran with it, and they were like, oh, like Georgina's gonna like be like, oh, it's okay, whatever. So they just kept, you know, being disrespectful, and it was just like this constant disrespect, like right to my face. And I was like, you know what, not cool. Like, I'm actually not like, I'm not like, no, I'm actually not gonna deal with this anymore. Like, I've tried at every single step to understand you, where I feel like people wouldn't have given you a second thought or the time of day, and I've always tried to sit here with you and try and understand where you're coming from, and you're giving me nothing, and you're like making it seem like I'm crazy, and everybody else agrees with me. Like, you know, so like, what's going on? And you know, like, people will gaslight you, people will manipulate, downplay things, and at the end of the day, like, for me, I was like, I've tried for so long, like over a year of like trying to like reconciliate things and like make things work, and I think maybe, I don't know, sometimes friendships are not built to last forever. And I saw this phrase or saying, and it really like stuck with me, and I was like, I like this a lot, and it was like, you never fail, you either win or you learn something. And I was like, I like that a lot. I think it's very like known, but I like have never like let it like really sink into like the neurons in my brain, you know. Like, I was like, that's so good. And I think that's like in this like sort of situation, my friendship, you know, this is somebody like I really cared about, and I'm like, why are you doing this to our friendship? Like, I don't understand. And you know, sometimes people are just like that, you know, and because you've like accepted behavior from them before in the past, they're just gonna keep doing it, thinking you're gonna take it. And then when you like finally put boundaries in place, and you're like, you actually don't speak to me like that, like, please, that's not very kind, they like is so taken aback, and they're like, whoa, since when can I speak to you like that? And they'll push it. They almost like go the other end. They're like, oh, you said don't do that, don't behave like this, okay, now I'm going to, and I'm gonna see what you can do about it. Like, what are you gonna do about it, you know? And I feel like they push you, and then when you try and be kind and like give them grace, blah, 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 they keep pushing until eventually you're like, we're both adults, I don't need to spell out what you're doing. Like, I know you know what you're doing, and it's like, I'm not gonna just sit here and deal with this. I'm not gonna deal with it. Yeah, so I think the reason I tried so hard to like keep peace with these relationships and kind of keep them going is because I care so much about everybody, and even these people who aren't like the best people, I have like grown to know so much about you, and trust me, if we're friends, I am invested in your life. Like, I care about you, about all your outcomes. Like, I've been praying for you through all your struggles and whatever you're going through. Like, I will do my best to be there for you, like, completely, because again, I just want like deep friendships. So I'm willing to put in the work. Unfortunately, other people are not, and that's okay. Maybe don't pour so much into those people who are not willing to pour as much back into you. That's absolutely fine. But I feel like, because, you know, years of like pouring into these friendships, and then like knowing you need to kind of pull the plug on some of them, and you're like, maybe I'll give them a second chance, maybe I'll give them a third chance, like for me at least. And I think that's why like I kind of let so many things slide, and then when I put boundaries in place and like people were just being disrespectful, I was like, actually, let me, like, maybe they'll change, maybe they're going through something, maybe this, maybe that, blah blah blah, blah, all this stuff, you know. And then you just kind of have to be like, we're adults, this is rude, like this is just continuously rude actually. And yeah, I've had enough actually. And I think that's okay, because you know what, we don't ever fail, we win or we learn. And you know what, I'm gonna take it as a win, because now I don't have to deal with like mental energy being used up, being like, did I do something, or what, how do I don't know, like, why are they being like this, or I don't, you know, just like wasting my mental energy on this when I can just be pouring into somebody else, or making better use of my time, like taking care of myself, you know, or whatever it may be. And not only is that a win, because now I have more peace in my life, and I've learned things as well. See, win, you win or you lose, sometimes it's both. And what have I learned? I've learned to value myself more. And even if you've poured so much time and effort into somebody, and this isn't just friendships, this can be like work, this can be like a career, this can be relationships, literally, like, I don't know, anything. If the reason you are staying is because there is so much time and effort and maybe memories tied up like with something, and you're like, I don't want to let go of all this work, like you need to like realize that sometimes holding on to something is so much worse for you than just letting it go. It's kind of like, have you seen that image? It's like this guy holding on to this like rope, and the rope, oh my goodness, and the rope is like, there's like so much pressure. He's like holding up, I think it's like a weight at the bottom of the rope or something, and it's like making his hand like super sore and red, and he's like just trying to hold on to this rope and like hold on to this thing, and they're like, what is the point? Like oh my goodness, let go of the rope. Just like at some point you just kind of have to let go, you know, like even if, and they're like, oh, but I've been holding on to this rope for like 3 years, and they're like, okay, but look what's currently going on with you holding this rope. Sometimes you just gotta let go of the rope. It's better for you. Sometimes it's okay to lose what you put into something if the outcome is better, you know. And you'll learn things in every single thing that happens, and everything you experience, everything you try, you will learn something. So I definitely, now it's a bit dangerous though, because I'm like, I have learned that I will not be dealing with this anymore, because that was my biggest thing. And like, not that I'm trying to advocate cut everybody off and like, you know, value yourself. If nobody values you enough, like cut them all off. I'm not advocating for that. I'm just saying, like, with your boundaries, don't be afraid. And I don't mean just like someone crossed your boundaries once or whatever. I mean, if that's like what you want like in your life, that's okay. But I think, you know, if you really think, you know, you kind of need to take some sort of action, but you're scared because of history or whatever, I would say you're going to be okay. And I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from walking away, you know. Don't be a hoarder. Don't hoard things that are not meant for you. But yeah, I've been like really self-reflective recently, and I don't know, I like to talk, so I thought maybe I'll just tell you and spill what has been on my mind. I've been feeling good. Like, I've been feeling the most self-aware and self-reflective that I've probably ever felt in my life. Maybe that comes with just like moving out and like having more like quiet so it's like more room for like my thoughts. At the same time, like, again, with my phone, I'm so overstimulated. But I don't know, it's just like a weird mismatch of like random thoughts and opinions and feelings. But I think I might like leave it at that today because I feel like I've been yapping for like an hour. If you've made it this far, I'm genuinely surprised because I feel like I'm the world's biggest yapper ever, and I'm not sure how much of that was of substance. Usually I would send this through to my editor and they would edit out all the boring parts, but today I'm gonna upload it raw footage, no editing. I mean, I think I'm gonna edit like my intro and I think that'll be basically it, but I just wanted to have a little chit chat, and I quite like the cozy vibes and just being able to speak. And you know, I'm sure so many of you guys probably relate to a lot of these subjects and thoughts. So I think, you know, as connected as we are nowadays, as almost this like lonely epidemic, I'm sure you understand. That's my cat. He has been fed all of his meals and he's just complaining for no reason. But I don't know, so I think maybe it's nice to kind of have these like more intimate conversations. I know I love longer videos too. I know that also in this age of like doom scrolling, like our attention spans are like this short, so maybe you see a 1 hour video and you go scroll past that. But you know, I think sometimes it's just nice to sit and like, for me, like I love a longer video to just play in the background whilst I'm doing something. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, let me know if you want to see more of these sort of like candlelit late night deep thought conversations. Maybe we can like talk about topics you want to talk about. I'm the biggest yapper. I read a lot of Substack articles and I read a ton of self-development books, and I love psychology and human behavior and all these sorts of things and life and whatever. Like, I don't know, let me know what you want to talk about next, if you even want to hear me yap anymore, all this nonsense. But yeah, I think that's it for me today. I'm gonna wrap it up here. But oh yeah, I wanted to talk all about like being analog and stuff, and like basically, okay, let me wrap this up quickly. In 2 weeks, no, not in 2 weeks, after I batch film stuff, and I'm gonna go like relax for 2 weeks. Notepad, if I have any video ideas, whatever, my iPad is not turning on. Notepad, pen, gonna go back and do some art. I love art. I love to paint, I love to draw, I love literally any sort of form of art. I love playing guitar, I love to sing. Oh my goodness, I love to sing. I love to go for walks. I actually do like going to the gym. I haven't gone to the gym in so long, it's ridiculous. I just love to like do activities and hobbies, and I have been neglecting myself so much. I haven't done anything I like. I'm gonna watch TV. I never even watch TV, guys. If I'm watching TV, I'm also on like 3 phones. Ridiculous. Or I'm gonna actually cook myself a home cooked meal. If I'm lucky, I'll maybe cook myself like 1 meal the whole week, and then I'll just eat like random things. I have no idea. But I'm looking for, and like coloring and just like, I don't know, I'm gonna try set a nice little routine, maybe go out for daily walks and stuff, and just really read more. I'm excited to read more. I feel like I just want to sit down with a book and a cup of tea and read, and I'm so excited to just like switch off online for like 2 weeks. My videos and stuff will still be posting, but I will not be like involved. I'm just gonna shut off for like 2 weeks online and really just reconnect with myself and with my mind, and like I'm gonna let myself be bored. I know the last time I was bored, but I'm gonna let myself be bored, guys, and I'm really excited because I feel crazy overstimulated. And honestly, I encourage you to do it, even if you can do it for a day, maybe on a Saturday, or just a day you're free, turn off your phone, go analog, just, I don't know, maybe turn on your notifications if it's like family or someone important, but otherwise just like put your phone on like do not disturb, and just like, you need a day, but trust me, don't go on your phone, and just like find something to do, let yourself be bored, and I promise you at the end of the day you'll be like, whoa, I feel so good. The most I've done that for is like a morning, and it was like, I still remember that morning, and it was like 2 months ago. Like, Why did I give myself one morning? Like, I should like give myself longer. But anyways, I genuinely love you guys so much. Thanks for hearing my crazy yapping session. Again, let me know if you like this, if you want to see more of this, your thoughts about these things. If you have any opinions on any of the topics I spoke about, I'd be very interested to hear. I'm a top yapper, but also as you probably can hear, I love to hear about other people's opinions, perspectives, whatever. Let me know, and let me know what else you want me to talk about as well. There will be normal uploads, of course, too. This is probably going to be a rare occurrence, but I just kind of want to yap about my thoughts. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a little thumbs up, a like. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps. And if you would like to see more content from me and this channel, please feel free to subscribe. I try and post here at least once a week, maybe 2, but I mean like at least twice a week, not every 2 weeks. I hope that was clear. Okay guys, I think that's all. But yeah, see you in our next video. Okay, bye.